rolling, Joe.
Oh, hello, and thanks very much for taking the time out to watch our new movie. Because today we've got something very special, and I hope you have a little bit of a sense of humour, and I hope you like pop art, because today we'll be creating this cow on Mars. We'll be doing it with Silver Series acrylic paints, and we'll be doing it in a kind of pop art style. So let's get into it. As is usually the case, we must first draw up our image in pencil. Refer to the PDF for guidance in regards to line placement. Take care to get the colour demarcations right in the first place too. You might like to draw a grid onto the PDF and then upsize that grid and draw it onto the canvas, transferring it that way. Okay, that's my horizon line in. Now I just want to put a planet looming over the horizon. So I need to create an arc. And that can quite easily be done with a piece of string. And this is framing cord, just with a loop in one end. Pop that in there and position the thumb at the centre of the arc. Well, let's apply some paint. Now, because my cosmic cow is on Mars and the surface of Mars is a reddish colour, I'm going to create that with scarlet and yellow orange. And I'm going to use the Mont Marte 100ml acrylic Silver Series paint to do that. So let's squeeze some of this out into our deep well plastic palette. Mix these parts at 1 part scarlet to 1 part yellow orange. Give it a mix and lay it on with a 75mm taklon brush. Use the corner of the brush to suggest those distant mountains and try to get the coat as smooth as you can. Well, that foreground looks great, so let's lay in our background. Now, I haven't been to Mars before, but by all accounts, I've heard that the atmosphere has a reddish hue to it. Now, pop art is all about exaggeration, so let's paint our background scarlet red. So fill another well and lay this into the background, again with the big brush. Don't worry if you can't paint as fast as me here. This is footage that has been sped up. It's special technical wizardry that we sometimes do. Well, that background is starting to look like real fun. So let's paint in planet Earth. Now, from Mars, planet Earth would be viewed at approximately that size by our cow. And because our beautiful planet is blue, squeeze out a little bit of phthalo blue and again with a big brush. Lay this colour in. Keep the strokes running in the direction of the arc and reinforce the mountains with the corner of the brush. Now that our blue is dry, we can lay in our landmass. And for these colours, I'm using the mid green and the yellow ochre. So squeeze these out, 1 colour into each well. To apply our landmass, we're going to switch from the large brush to the Mont Marte Gallery Series brush set that I have here. It contains 5 useful brushes. Lay the green on first. You might like to refer to an atlas for the placement of these countries. When you're happy with your green, you can lay in some ochre into that colour to add a little contrast. Well, the last thing we have to do with planet Earth is to create our clouds and polar caps. We'll be doing that with titanium white, so squeeze some of that out and let's get these clouds on. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I start at the top and work my way down the planet. I concentrate more pigment on the area around the North Pole, and I keep a dry brush to suggest wispy clouds. Our background is complete and we can now move on to painting our cow. Now, she has been isolated into 6 colours that can be created from 4 colours of Mont Marte Acrylic Silver Series paint. If you refer to the PDF in the TV section at montmarte.net, you will find a colour placement guide with all the appropriate colour mixes in it. So let's lay down our darkest tone and our first colour, the black. Into a new deep well plastic palette, I squeeze out the black. and I dip the number 15 flat into it and block in the appropriate areas. I use the flat tip to create the sharp edges and use the brush on its edge to create fine lines. I charge the brush with lots of paint to ensure adequate coverage. Colour 2 is a dark grey. To create this, I mix 2 parts white to 4 parts yellow ochre to 1 part black. Then block in this colour. This is how black presents itself in reflected light. I keep referring to the colour placement guide and I try to keep my colour shapes as simple as I can. Colour 3 is going to be a white sort of ochre, and we create that with, surprise, surprise, a dot of yellow ochre to 4 parts white. Again, follow the guide in regards of where you lay the colour and use the number 15 brush for this. Colour 4 is just straight yellow pink, and this is laid in around the nose. It's not really used anywhere else, but it's an important colour, I think. Colour 6 is a mid-grey, created from white and a dot of black. Don't make this too dark. Remember, this is to suggest the white in shadow. Lay this in quite thickly with the number 15 brush again. Now all the spaces I have left, I lay in pure titanium white. I know these are white already, but this adds a fine texture, and there is some darker areas that need white detailing, like the nose and the eye here. Well, there you have it. My cosmic cow on Mars. Oh, hang on. I know what you're thinking. This painting is utterly preposterous and unrealistic. There is no way a cow could survive on the harsh environment of deep outer space. They breathe oxygen, and the atmosphere on Mars is made up of carbon dioxide, argon gas and methane. Our space bovine would need breathing apparatus, so let us create an oxygen helmet for our friend. So to create our helmet, we use our chord compass again. Find the central point in the head, lay in a pencil there, and then you can create your helmet. Once the pencil line is drawn in, just go around the line with black paint. To suggest the look of glass, I'm going to paint the helmet with a gloss medium, a spot of phthalo and a touch of white. I lay it in with a large brush.
Space cow, space cow.
Try to get the coat as smooth as possible. Well, that's one small step for bovines and one giant leap for bovine kind. And I think it's been a lot of fun. Well, if you stumbled on us on YouTube, then come over to montmarte.net where there's lots more lessons. And when you're there, you'll see links to our Facebook and our family feed. And if you subscribe to that, then you can get free art tips and hints. So until next time, keep on painting.